Well, it's 7 a.m. Gypie and I are about to leave the BLM managed Silver Creek campsites. There's just, I think there's 5 of them here, maybe only 3. What a great spot. If you are anywhere around Craters of the Moon in, around Arco or Cary, Idaho, and you need a place to stay, come here. It's free, it's clean, great fishing, critters, no bears. It's nice. It's very nice. Highly recommended. All right then, this is day 19. We're gonna go take the loop road at the Craters of the Moon. When we went there on Wednesday, that's why we're here for so long. While we were here on Wednesday, we drove into the National Park Visitor Center at Craters of the Moon, and the loop road was closed from the 14th through the 19th. Great. But I'm kind of glad it was, because this place was cool. We met Luis and his wife from Mexico. They were great folks. So we're going to go do the loop again, or attempt to do it again.
I promise that it's going to be super elegant today.
That's fine.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Do you want to help me? You can. Unless you'd rather film. It's totally up to you.
I'll film.
Okay.
Now I've done the Googling, and I got the information on National Park, but are you under the National Park Service? Meaning, and my intention of asking is about flying a drone. Is that strictly prohibited? Is there any opportunity to get a special dispensation with assistance and that sort of thing?
If it were up to me, I would love to give you some sort of special dispensation. Unfortunately, I do not have that.
You do not have that? That would require the Pope or...
something.
Yeah, something. Well, this is the Craters of the Moon Loop Drive. I see is a whole lot of lava. This is the North Crater flow. Don't have a real sense from where all this comes from. I mean, where the actual craters are. I guess I should get out and take a look. With Gypie baby Pumpkinhead, of course. All right. Here's a crater. Belle, no. Get up here. Belle, get up here. All right. This is the North Crater. This is amazing. If you look down in there, it's just, I mean, it's just lava. Nothing growing on it, or very little anyway. All right, at Craters of the Moon, I just stopped here. There's no one in this monument. I'm the only person here. But there are these vast fields, and I thought it was ash. So I got out. It's like lava the size of pea gravel, and just vast fields of it. I don't know how that formed. And I scratched the surface and went down maybe an inch, and then it just became hard. So this is like maybe cinders when a volcano blows. I really don't know. Maybe this is what's known as volcanic ash. I do not know. But it's pretty freaking cool. Vast fields of it on both sides. Yay, it's Saturday. I think it's day 19. I think. We just left Craters of the Moon National Monument. That's a pretty bizarre place. An amazing example of volcanic action here near the Great Rift in Idaho, which I believe is at least a part of the Yellowstone caldera, or that caldera used to be centered here. Not quite sure. Google that. So right now we're headed northeast, and I'm going to attempt Yellowstone again, this time from the west entrance. You know, there's like these pingo-like things sticking up out of the ground, which are enormous hills, and that's what a butte is. I just saw a sign as I was passing it, so I turned around. I want to read about this geological site ahead. Yeah, about buttes. I wish to familiarize myself with the geological phenomenon known as a butte. Gypie. Now we're headed for the west entrance of Yellowstone National Park. As you'll remember, a few days ago, we went through the north entrance. That was cool, but everything was blocked off. They wouldn't let anybody in. But when I was speaking with Luis and his wife back at Silver Creek Campground, he showed on a map that it was the west entrance was open just this past week. So we're gonna make a go for it. Up ahead now, day 19 up ahead, and pretty much as far as the eye can see to the north. You can even see the spires of Grand Teton out there, but that is the Bridger Teton National Forest. We're about 12 miles outside of Idaho Falls. Gonna go to Walmart, get Gypie some roast beef and some mouse traps because I think we have a mouse in here. All right. I noticed when I was tossing the trash at the ranger station, one of the trash bags had a hole gnawed through it. Clearly a mouse. It was in the back. I thought, maybe it happened when it was laying outside. I'm in the truck and I'm driving. Reached down to get my bag of granola. It has a hole in it. I've got a mouse. This means wah. Well, Gypie and I just had our Arby's roast beef lunch. Went to Walmart, got some fishing stuff. I was very much lacking in any kind of diversity in fishing tackle. Got a few more bottles of propane than I didn't need. Got some gas. I went and got the truck sprayed off at a car wash. While I was there, guy about my age, big truck, big trailer, a gear trailer. What do you call those? You know, a gear trailer. There's a name for it. I'll think of it later. Toy hauler. That's what it is. I finally remembered. Anyway, he used to work out at that Idaho National Laboratory. If you remember a few days ago, I was driving through and there was this vast area, square miles, where the government said, don't step foot. And I knew ARCO had something to do with atomic energy because they are noted as being the first town ever to be lit by atomic power. And there's weird antennas out there. It looks government. It looks very government. Well, he said that, yep, a lot of nuclear testing, not in terms of explosions, but nuclear reactor testings, where they test different materials in nuclear reactors, because he said there are 2 working nuclear reactors out there. And I think he said one of them is run by the United States Navy, maybe both of them, but at least one of them was U.S. Navy. And he chuckled and said, and there are no boats out there. Because it's out in the middle of nowhere. Flat plains. There is an atomic museum out there, but I wasn't interested in that. All right, just a tidbit. We are in the Targhee National Forest. I see a BLM site about 23 miles away. I'm gonna try. I mean, these roads are still socked in. I don't think any of the campgrounds are gonna be open up here. Still a lot of snow. Deep snow too. Well, a foot. Well, Gypie and I are finally going to call it a night. We're going to call it a day. On day 19, we finally found a spot in the Targhee National Forest. It's a parking lot for a snowmobile launching site. I don't know what you would call that. A snowmobile put in, I guess. But Gypie's already crashed out, so we're going to call it a day. We spent a lot of time looking for this place. I went up and down the road on US 20. I'll bet I burned up 50 miles just trying to find this place. Did have a nice conversation with a gal who was with the state. She was removing the snowplow markers that up here they're about 10 feet long, just to show the snowplows where to plow. Anyone who's been out west has seen them. They're just tall markers. Well, she was removing them and putting them in her truck, and we talked briefly. Nice gal, young gal. Talked briefly, asked her if there was any dispersed camping, that sort of thing. And then I proceeded to go into the state park because I asked her if I could turn around there, and she said yeah. So I went, and I was looking at the poles she was moving, and they were bound to the, like the normal 4-foot side of the road markers. These 10-foot poles were bound to those with baling wire, and in like 3 different places, wrapped 4 or 5 times around, and then twisted. And I went, well, that's a knucklehead way to do that. So when I went back, I said, how come you use baling wire? She goes, well, I don't know. Well, what would you use? And I said, well, zip ties. She goes, what's a zip tie? I said, get out of here. Turned off the truck, got out, went to the back, pulled out a zip tie, went over there, zipped one on her pole that she hadn't removed yet, and she it was like I did magic. She goes, well, that'd be a hell of a lot easier. I said, yeah. I said, and these, you can get them heavier. She goes, I've never seen such a thing. I said, well, I call them zip ties. I think everybody calls them zip ties, but they may be called electrical cable connector ties or something. I said, but gosh, you would have been done with this whole road here in an hour and a half, whereas I'll bet you've been out here all day. And she shook her head and she goes, yeah, and I won't finish. I said, yeah. Who's ever in charge of buying stuff, your purser, your quartermaster, tell them to buy you some zip ties. Well, she was just tickled to death. All right. That's a fun story. I think it's day 20. Gypie and I are going to Yellowstone. We are going through Targhee Pass, which on the other side of it will roll right into West Yellowstone. It's Sunday morning. It's a beautiful day. We're at Yellowstone with my oh, it's so exciting. Hey, boo-boo, not your average bear. Hey, boo-boo. Hi.
Good morning. Welcome, Yellowstone. How are you?
Thank you.
All right. Any park literature for you?
I'll take a map.
Okay. There you go.
Bye.
Have a good day.
I'll take a map. Animals are dangerous, the sign says. The animals, they're dangerous. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh no. Here we are in Yellowstone National Park. This is the fabled Madison River. I would say the Madison River and Yellowstone River are the two renowned fly fishermen's meccas. I fished the Madison, fly fished it back in, that would have been 1998 when I was on my big 8-month-long adventure. Beautiful water, just meandering down. I'd put a line in. I do have a Wyoming license, although here in the national park it requires a Yellowstone fishing license, and the season doesn't open until late May. So there's no fishing in national park until late May, which is a shame because I could catch me a fish in this river. Oh, I know this river. I don't really, but I like to think that I do. Oh, gotta stop for more bison. I've not seen that many cars today. I've seen more bison. Bison. I don't really like bison. American buffalo. I've seen more American buffalo than I've seen automobiles today. Maybe. Maybe that's a thing. They're over there. Oh, this guy, he's decided he's going to get right in my way. He says, you know, I'm gonna take this lane. Uh-oh, he's going to go over to that car and say, what you got to eat? You got anything to eat over there? They are so big. All right, guy, I'm going to go around you. All right. Big old fuckers. Damn. Well, you know, you just gotta wait for those buffalo to cross the road. Yeah. few cars at the Celestine pool and some of those other geysers, the smaller ones that I got shots of. Old Faithful, I don't know if I need to see it. But if there aren't a ton of tourists there, I will. Not a lot of cars, so there were quite a few at the last place I was at, but we'll see. There may be tons of people here. Well, there's Old Faithful, so I did stop by. There's nobody here. Many more people up the road at those geysers. Well, going to the south entrance or exit of Yellowstone's not going to happen. Nice 600 Skidoo here. Been here a while. There we go. Just sits here. No keys. Otherwise, I'd take her for a ride. Could have left it. Could have left it with some keys. I'd love to take her for a ride. Well, we're in Yellowstone. Pretty much by ourselves. I could camp back in there tonight, but it's too early for that. Ranger Rick and Morty the Teardrop. Got a couple of ravens here. Come on, it's all right. I'm not gonna hurt you. They're eyeing Gypie's food. It's okay. You can go in there and eat it. I saw as many rangers as I did people there today. So we're at the Best Western. We're going to stay here for at least tonight. Maybe a couple of nights, because I've got some editing to do. All right, this is day 20. And pizza is on the way. And we're gonna call it a night. Goal 0 needed recharged. Drone batteries needed recharged. I found this in the parking lot. I'm gonna give it to housekeeping, just in case it's poisonous. Just kidding. Gypie's being a dog. And I'm doing lots of editing. And washing dishes.